What is going on, guys? Fighting Game Select is back again. We are here to talk about Street Fighter 6, and we have to ask one of the most consistent players. Let's give it up for Nephew.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
We're here today so people can get some advice to get better at tournaments for Street Fighter.
Yeah, I played in a few tournaments, so
yeah, you play like two-ish, 2,000,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, you're hovering all over the place, right?
Yeah.
But there's some people that are very shy, get very nervous easily, and just when they're in the moment, they want to ask some advice. So, what would be one advice that you'll give to a new player trying to get better in tournaments?
I think my number one tip for tournaments would be to warm up beforehand. I feel like a lot of players, like if they go to a major, especially, they're not. They go like straight from their hotel room. Maybe they like stand around their pools. But I think trying to either like have like a laptop that you can play on, or like some kind of setup in your hotel room, or you like go down to the venue early and try and get some casuals. I feel like that goes a long way, because like you can get your like brain mentally ready, and just like prepare a little bit, maybe get used to the setups. And I feel like previously, when I didn't warm up, I would just be playing a lot worse. Like I wouldn't be playing by like myself. Trying to make sure that you have that little bit of time beforehand to just get back where you are can make you a lot more comfortable.
I feel like a lot of people, when they warm up, they just think like, okay, let me just play. Like I feel like people, when you're warming up, you should like put yourself in situations where you're practicing your defensive responses, practicing your anti-airs, practicing like responding to like certain situations. Like you want to elevate your sharpness. So when you're sitting in bracket, like, I always say, man, offense is the easiest thing to do. But like decision making, anti-airing, defense, and things like that, you want to really put those in the test when you're warming up.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like I feel like if I'm not warmed up, I just make like weird decisions. But if I'm good, then I'll make the ones that I normally do.
That's what it is, man. What would be the second advice that you'll give somebody?
Like eat right during and before the tournament. What I like to do is like I try to eat a meal like 3 hours before I play, maybe. If it's any closer, then maybe I'll have like something small. And a lot of tournaments these years have like gotta be playing for a long time if you're making it farther in the bracket, so having some snacks in the middle, because you're probably not going to be eating a full meal. Staying hydrated as well, so drinking water and stuff. So I think those things make a big difference in how you play.
I know some people, they be like, yo man, I'm about to get ready to tournament, and they go into like an all you can eat buffet, and like they eating like this is the last battle, and like you sit down, man, your eyes are heavy, these jump ins are a little bit more faster than normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything starts falling out.
I also like to have like a little bit of sugar sometimes, so sometimes I'll get like a Gatorade, or I'll just get like a normal Coke.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I feel like that little bit of sugar can help too, maybe even more than caffeine sometimes.
Did you ever felt like, oh man, I felt like I wasn't like sharp enough because I didn't have anything? Like, you ever felt like that after you lose?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that, but these days, like I try really hard to make sure that I'm not like missing out on anything that I'm used to. Like, but if I'm just at home playing ranked, and I'm like, I haven't had any caffeine, and I'm just like not doing anything I normally do. So I just try to make sure I'm like playing in a normal condition where I've got like caffeine and that little bit of a sugar kick.
Number 3, what's your number 3 advice, bro?
To prepare for your like opponents beforehand. Maybe your local, it's a bit less important because you probably know the players there, but going into your pool, doing your research, making sure you know at least what characters they play, maybe watching a few matches, that can go a long way into actually winning the match. Because if you're like equally skilled, like but like a few of their habits, and like what you're getting into, like you don't even have to download them, just making sure you don't get gimmicked out by them in the first place, you can feel really good.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like a lot of people really underrate of like knowing your opponent beforehand and like what to expect.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they just think that it's only your personal skill, and like you just play ranked and like get better, but tournaments, it's like a competition against the other person, so you gotta really be ready for the person you're playing against.
That's a great advice, man. Number 4,
getting good sleep before the tournament. It's definitely one of the hardest things though if you're traveling, like the jet lag. So I would say like bring some melatonin or something to just help you sleep.
Bring the belly.
Yeah,
bring the belly.
Yeah, that definitely helps a lot for me if I'm trying to travel and get that good sleep. So yeah, I think that's really important. If I get more than 6 hours of sleep at a tournament, I feel good. Ideally it's 7 or 8, but I think you can't always get that at a tournament. So I would say 7 or more than 6 is good for me.
Number 5. What's number 5, bro?
Yeah, my number 5 advice is simply to play in more tournaments. Because the more tournaments you play in, like the more comfortable you are going to be getting your whole tournament routine ready and everything, and then just also sitting down in the seat, you're just ready because you've been in that situation so many times, so you just get more and more used to it. Like I feel like if I haven't played in a tournament in a while, even if I follow like all the steps I used to do, I still get like a bit nervous the first round. So but the more I play, like I just don't get nervous anymore. So I think that's just a thing, you have to be in the situation more to not get as nervous.
Nice. Would you say doing online tournaments help a lot too?
Yeah, I definitely think so, at least for some players. Maybe not for me anymore, because when I play an online tournament I just don't care at all. Like I don't feel any pressure.
Right.
But I think maybe against players that are like up and coming, like they might still feel that pressure from an online tournament. So that could help them as well.
If I wanted to add, I say another good, strong advice too, man. It's like, yo, don't be afraid to like play people when you're like, you know, I feel like a lot of people are so nervous to like kind of be like, yo, you want to warm up and like ask somebody to warm up.
Yeah.
And because you know, some people are like, oh, I don't want to play this guy because I don't want him to figure me out and things like that, right?
Yeah.
I think you should be open into like play people and like get a feel of like, all right, this guy is like getting into the match. I need to like get my hands like ready and feel out like what I'm playing, right? It's not about like sandbagging, but you just want to like kind of learn like, oh, okay, this is the nature of like this style is playing like in this region. Because I know you agree with this, because each region you go to, there's a style, there's a bracket style that people play, right?
Yeah, there definitely is. When you go to Europe, they're all perfect pairing like crazy.
Yeah, it's like each region is like a style. So like, I feel like when you're going out there, you need to like kind of get used to your style. And like, if you're going from a local to a major, you got to understand the style that is like out here may not be as good to do out there. It might just be a bad matchup. So like, getting used to like playing that like style is like very important. And that's something that like I learned like when I was playing international. I was like, oh, these dudes play like this. And then like once you kind of find like a game plan to kind of counter that, like it gets more fluent. But the only way for you to do that is to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, look, with that being said, man, thank you so much, bro, for being here, man. And once again, if there's a particular advice that you want to just say to everybody here, what would that be? This is prime Nephew, right? Nephew of like, yo, Nephew just won Capcom Cup. You know, he's like, yo, what would you give the advice to all the players watching you right now? What would be that advice?
I would just say to like keep trying, keep playing, because you know I was just a random in the beginning, so anyone can do it. I feel like if you put in the work to get to at least where I am. You know, people were debating like talent and stuff. Like maybe you're not gonna get where Punk is. I feel like Punk is very talented, but you can get to at least where I am. I think
hard work can get where Punk is, but I think in terms of like how quickly, you have to be okay with not happening.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Like you have to be like, okay, if I want to play like this, it's going to take me 2 years. Rather for Punk, it's going to take him 3 months. With that being said, man, thank you so much for being here as always, Nephew. It's a pleasure to always have you here, man. I expect great things to happen, kind of like the mid to the end of the season too. So, you know, we're rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. And with that being said, where can they find you?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hopefully those tips were helpful. You can find me at Nephew Dork on everything. So YouTube, Twitch, Twitter are the main ones.
And the real question is, do you guys agree that if you accept this advice, would this help you a lot and the things that you're having a hard time with. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below. We love to hear great stories about people leveling up, so please let me know in the comment section below. Hopefully this helped run to break through any plateaus that you players have, you fans and supporters of fighting games had as well. So with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, peace.